There have been countless rumors about the Rothschild family in Europe and North America for a century. Some people say that they dominate half of Europe, some say that more than half of Europe, and even half of the United States is under their control. They are almost everywhere in Europe and the United States. The most profitable bank is theirs, the most profitable oil refinery is also theirs, the largest shipping group is still theirs, and even the largest military-industrial enterprise is theirs. The railway transportation that promoted the Industrial Revolution in Europe and the United States was also under the control of this family. As for precious minerals such as gold and diamonds, are their traditional strengths. A rough estimate is that the entire family's assets are at least several $trillion. In other words, a Rothschild has more than 10 times the assets of the Wade family. What's more frightening is that Rothschild, as an old Jewish family, has a great influence in European and American politics. The big men on Wall Street are almost all Jews. Almost all the lifeblood of America is in their hands. Such a family can even promote a war between nations behind the scenes. In front of these families, Charlie's current assets and strengths are not worth mentioning. If at this time, his identity is leaked, it's hard to know what kind of storm it will cause. Under such circumstances, Charlie really did not dare to confide in Claire. He felt that at least she had to wait for him to figure out the cause of his parents' death, figure out whether the Wade family was an enemy or a friend, figure out whether they had a deep hatred with the Rothschild family. Claire didn't know what the husband next to her was thinking about at this time. While eating fruit, she said with a look of longing, "Husband, if I can win this project, you won't have so much pressure in the future." Charlie said seriously, "I don't have any pressure. It's very easy to make money, so you don't need to have any pressure. If this project is too tiring, then don't participate in the bidding. It is so tiring to prepare for bidding. If you really win this project, I'm afraid it will be even more tiring." Claire smiled and said, "If it's tiring, so be it. You can't refuse to develop because you are afraid of being tired. If the company can become bigger and stronger, I can divide a lot of work in the future and concentrate on management. In fact, it's not too tiring either. The most tiring is the studio model. As the boss and the employee, I have to do everything myself." Charlie nodded in agreement. This is indeed the case. The most feared thing is that the two identities get mixed together. Claire smiled slightly and said, "Okay, you don't have to feel sorry for me. I will continue to work here. You can go back to the bedroom and rest first." Charlie said, "Then, wife, get busy, I won't bother you, remember to call me if you need something." At the same time, the excited Chin gang was calling the people Charlie wanted to invite one by one. Most of these people are his old acquaintances and old friends, so they are very easy to contact. They call each other and tell everyone about the matter. Everyone is excited. Charlie had only given medicine on a large scale once. At that time, everyone received his favor and got a magic medicine. This time, Charlie wanted to give the medicine again, and they were naturally full of joy. Tai Lai Li, who was in Haizhou, heard that Charlie was going to treat him, and even immediately asked Zhao Hao, his friend at the Charlie Welfare Institute, to drive him to Oruz Hill overnight. Tai Lai also owns a lot of real estate in Oruz Hill, so he plans to stay in Oruz Hill overnight, so as not to delay his schedule tomorrow in case of an emergency. The main reason why he values it so much is because this opportunity is too rare in his eyes. The only person who has not received Chin Gang's notification is Doris of the Emgrand Group. It was not that Chin Gang had forgotten her, mainly because Chin Gang did not have Doris's contact information. Before Charlie took over the Emgrand Group, Doris had always been the vice chairman of the Emgrand Group. She is not the eldest lady of a big family, nor is she a rich and powerful second generation, she is completely a very capable career woman who can climb up on her own. Therefore, she basically doesn't mix with the so-called high society like Oruz Hill. Like Isaac, Solomon, Chin Gang, and Warnya, although she knew each other, she had never been familiar with them. And people like Isaac and Solomon had already formed a small circle around Charlie by their side. People in this small circle all have a very good relationship with Charlie, and they know Charlie's abilities, so they regard Charlie as a standard and treat him respectfully. So Chin Gang called Charlie and respectfully said, "Master Charlie, I have already notified everyone. Time is okay, but only Doris, this person has been very low-key, and I have never had her contact information. Do you think it is not convenient for you to give me her phone number?" Charlie said. "Forget it, let me call her directly." After hanging up Chin Gang's phone, Charlie called Doris. As soon as the phone was connected, Doris asked respectfully on the other end, "Chairman, what do you want?" Charlie couldn't help but frown slightly. Normally, Doris would call him young master in private. Now it's off work time, why did she call him chairman? Is it not convenient for her to speak now? Thinking of this, Charlie also said very politely, "Deputy Doris, I want to ask if you have time tomorrow night? I have dinner and I want to invite you to come over." Doris hesitated for a moment, and said a little apologetically, "Chairman, I'm really sorry, I can't confirm the time yet, can I reply to you tomorrow?" Charlie was puzzled, and asked, "Deputy, have you encountered anything?" Doris said unnaturally, "There is nothing like that, Chairman, but I have some guests to entertain, so." Charlie smiled slightly and said, "Okay, let's call again tomorrow. It doesn't matter if it is inconvenient for you, we can make another appointment at another time."